What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Payne. Welcome back to another Final Fantasy VII Evercrisis video. Alright guys, so real quick, if you guys aren't aware, coming soon, very soon, Critical Threat Reawakened Sephiroth The Arrival is in fact going to be dropping probably in the next few days, I'd imagine. We know Yuffie comes out tomorrow, which is a pretty big deal for a lot of folks, so for those who are curious what her 5-star weapon is going to be, or what she's going to bring to the table, let's see if the Twitter has in fact added anything new to it. I don't think they have though. I think we all know we've got the achievements there. We just need to get to the 10,000 point so we can get ourselves that weapon as well too, right? So yeah, 10,000 achieved actually. I don't think we have that yet, so we don't have that one yet. So you know she's dropping tomorrow. Keep in mind, if you have not done so, please go to this campaign, submit it, and we're good, right? So I'd like to have that additional weapon. But outside of that, we do know this is happening as well right here, right? So new event exclusive weapon is going to be available. The Reawakened Sephiroth fight. So we're getting a Lucia weapon, which is kind of cool. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to function the same way as the original weapon, because this is going to drop tomorrow as well too. So if you have not ever seen the Sephiroth fight, I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. Now, Reawakened, this kind of put a thought in my head. I'm wondering if we're going to see every single event that we've seen in the past happen again for the Steam players, so they have an opportunity to get some of these older weapons. Now, Barrett's weapon and Sephiroth's Torn Wings are both going to be available to also get. Now, for those veterans, you're going to skip that, obviously, unless you want to plus 20 it, which, I mean, realistic at the end of the day, I think it's not necessary, but your call if you want to do min-maxing for stats. I'm definitely going to go for Lucia's weapon, but also at the same time, they're going to provide us blueprints for Barrett, Lucia, and Sephiroth, and those are the important things that veteran players want. Now, if I see the word reawaken, I'm assuming every single crash we've done last year is going to reappear this year as well, plus newer events along the way to fill in those gaps, right? So that's there. Now, in regards to the actual fight, I'm going to show you guys the difference between Sephiroth EX2, which is what we're going to face first, and then what we're going to see with Sephiroth Crash Course, okay? So or EX3, I guess, would be the more suitable way. Now, when I did this at... let's see, I think I had 113k, level 50 was the highest, so this is going to be a joke. 113k was the highest. He was 140k for EX2. Now, the way this fight worked out is very similar to the boss rush fight, okay? So he starts off doing just basic attacks. Aeolian Onslaught, he does Telluric Fury, he does Kaishin, and then he'll go into his mode where he does Octaslash. Now, when he does Octaslash, he's going to raise his physical attack up, and every time he does this, called Boundless Strength, he's going to continue stacking that physical attack up constantly. So this is where Torn Wings or Barrett's weapon, or most likely Lucia's weapon, is going to come in, where you can give somebody a solid barrier of some sort, so physical defense up. You guys can see on Aerith, she's got 2 of them right there, which will allow you to survive Octaslash up to maybe 4 or 5 times until it becomes unbearable. Now, you guys can see back in the day, the top end free-to-play HP was 4.6k. Now we're like at 9k. So I can only imagine they're going to probably tailor him a little differently. They may make him a little more difficult, or they may keep EX2 exactly the same. So just so you guys are aware, after Octaslash, what he does is he goes into the next phase. So the next phase is going to be his actual elemental phase. Things to bring with you for these phases, okay? The first phase is going to be Lightning Infusion. Now, if you can look at Sephiroth, he has water resist down, but lightning resist up, which means all your lightning attacks are going to do no damage to him. This sigil phase here, you want to bring water. Water blow, Watera, whatever, a hydro shot, sea splitter, whatever you want to bring, or maritime sword, whatever you want to bring that does the most amount of water damage, you want to bring his HP down to as low as possible. Now, back in the day, because it was a lot more difficult, it was the way I beat this was I just beat the sigils and then just went in on attacking him, right? Because I didn't want to deal with all the extra AoE that he does, because he does do Tandaga, and then he does do his regular attacks in between. So a lot of AoE damage coming in. So newer players, you're going to have to deal with that. But if you can put in some damage, it's absolutely worth putting in as much as you possibly can. Now, if you don't have a water weapon or good water skills, you can hold off and wait till the next sigil phase, which will come in very shortly. I'll show you guys real quick. Hold on, I did Hellfire here. Here we go. This one here is ice resist down and fire resist up. So save summons for these phases. I put that in my title. So you guys can see here, he does Firaga. You guys can do Shiva here and like burst him down super, super quick. Or if you have like Sephiroth's Edge Wings or whatever the case may be, whatever ice weapon you have, this is the time to use it and then focus on getting the sigil down after the fact. But he's extremely susceptible to elemental damage. Okay, so that's pretty much the entire phase. Once you get him low enough, he'll start doing something else. He'll start, so there's another Octoslash. He'll continue stacking that, but he does Hell's Gate, I think it's called. Let me just go to it real quick. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. He does it right around this area, which is an AoE stun. Essentially, he'll jump up in the air. There's another Boundless Strength. I think this is the fourth one or something. He's definitely going to kill somebody eventually. See if I can find Boundless. No, he didn't do it here at all. Okay, yeah, so we just ended up killing him. So that's essentially the only other difference there is once he starts doing Hellgate, or I think it's called Hellgate. He'll do like an AOE. He'll slam the Masamune into the ground, and then it'll open up like this gate, and then everybody will get stunned. You can still cast animations through that, by the way, while you're stunned. So definitely try to time that one. You'll get more DPS in. Okay, so pretty straightforward fight. Really not much going on. Just the main thing, really, at the end of the day, is just watch. You can watch this video over again if you want. But you can see here, there's one other thing called Masamune in waiting. This here, you do no damage at all. Do not cast anything. Do not do anything. Just break the sigil. Because if you don't break the sigil, he'll end up killing you. But if you cast anything, you'll do no damage. The only thing you need to do there is just sigil break. Okay, so that's the only other thing you have to watch out for. So, all in all, first sigil break. First is Boundless Strength, then Octoslash, then it's the water sigil weakness. Then it's back to another Octoslash. Then it's the ice sigil weakness. And then if you get to the third sigil weakness, I believe it's fire. So you'll be doing those three elements. And then you'll see he'll continue doing Boundless Strength with the Octoslash. Then he'll add Masamune in waiting, which you don't cast anything, just sigil break. And then lastly, you'll end up getting Hell's Gate on you. Okay, so that's pretty much the EX2 version of the fight. Now, the Crash version and the EX3 version are exactly the same. So I'm going to show you guys the difference here. It's quite a bit more difficult. So let me just quickly go through this. I'll mute it. So you guys can see here, the first thing you'll notice is his aesthetics is different. He's got the one wing. Now, he does Pulse of the Planet in the beginning. So if you get to this point, Heartless Archangel actually ends up hitting everybody here and drops everybody to 1 HP. So it's your healer's job to make sure you get fully maxed out. Now, when you do the solo version, not the Crash version of this, he's only going to affect one unit to 1 HP. He doesn't do the Archangel till a little bit later. Okay, so you guys can see that's the difference. Now, after this part, he ends up actually doing Magic Torrent, which does Shadow Flare. Now, Shadow Flare is another massive AoE damage dealing move, so you got to heal up quickly here and get everybody ready for the next part, which is pretty big. Now, he's not debuffable. You cannot debuff him. Okay, so the only thing you can do is add buffs to yourself. So having some sort of a magic defense up will really help in that phase. But you can see here, we survived it. We all have 5.7k HP. So I mean, around that time, that was the norm. But I think for the re-release, we might see a little bit more difficulty. Okay, so here we go. Regular onslaught attacks. Now the next phase, he does, if I recall, he does Octoslash. Let's see. No, Earth Infusion. Okay, so you can see here the elements change, right? Now he does Earth Infusion first. So here it's actually Earth Resist and Wind Resist down. So I'm not sure if they're going to keep it the same, but Wind was the weakness in the first sigil break. Okay, so here you guys can see these guys were doing a lot of damage with their winds. So we got him fairly well down before we got a chance to cast. Now if you don't complete killing that sigil off, he ends up doing another Shadow Flare and he will most likely kill you guys. Okay, so right after this, he'll do basic attacks, and then he goes right into another Octoslash, which he does in fact do Boundless Strength again. So you're gonna need to deal with that. So make sure you are putting some physical defense up. It's well worth bringing it for the EX3 or the Crash. Okay, like you're gonna need it. All right. So now going over here, you guys can see we've done a couple summons. Now he goes into Elemental Infusion here. This one's a little different. Okay, so you guys can see how this one works. Let me sit. There you go. Elemental Infusion. Now he's got 3 sigils. So everyone's ice resist, lightning resist, everything gets resisted up. So this whole point of this part, guys, is just to break the sigils. If you don't break them, he'll start casting AoE. Look, he's got every element down. So you need to kill off all the sigils or else he's going to continue casting every single AoE cast one after another. Do not do this. This was a mistake. Complete big mistake, and I even called it out as a mistake. It does 1 damage. You guys see nothing is going to go through in this phase. So make sure when you're doing this, it's all about sigil breaking, okay? So that was a mistake you want to avoid. So if somebody, I mean, this is a co-op, so somebody dies, we raise them. But you guys can see here he's doing a couple of these regular attacks after that phase, and then he goes into the Pulse of the Planet, and then Heartless Angel. Now, Heartless Angel is the single attack, okay? So when you see Archangel, that's the AoE. When you see Angel, that's just the one person that's being attacked, okay? So this person is now going to go down to 1 HP only. So this is where you want to make sure that you have yourself a healer that can heal you back up quickly. And then he goes right into that Octaslash on that same person. That's why it's so important to heal up so quick and have a physical defense up to avoid getting one-shot by this Octaslash, because it does a lot of damage. Like you can see here, he's probably going to end up killing, almost killing this person. Or did. That was me. Oh no, I did die. So here you guys go. So case in point right there, right? And this is what I was talking about before. So after that, regular attacks again, and then it goes into Hell's Gate. There it is. This is what I was referring to, the stun that everybody gets done. But you can see there, they still casted their animations and got it through. And then Pulse of the Planet, and then Heartless Archangel to get everybody down to 1 HP. So here as a healer, you want to make sure you're fully ready to heal through this. Now after he completes this, he's going to go right into Masamune in Waiting. So you're going to need to get into a sigil break, and this time it's actually the diamond. It's no longer the triangle or whatever it was. So you're going to want to bring something like Nameless or a triangle break. Now we have Bahamut's weapons obviously to help in this phase. So if you are using Tifa or Matt, you guys can use them here to help out. Okay. After this, it just becomes Octaslash, and then another phase of Masamune in Waiting. And then another phase of Heartless Archangel. And from here, you don't even need to heal. You just out DPS him. Because once he does that last move, you just got to bring him down and it's over. So that's pretty much it, guys. Go back and check out this tape. The 2 videos are out both for EX3 and EX2. Or EX3, I guess, is considered the co-op crash course. But it's the exact same run, minus the Archangel being done first. It's just the regular Angel one being done first. So there you guys go. This is Payne. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'm actually excited for this re-return. I'm curious to see if I can actually beat the EX3 this time around, because I wasn't able to do it last time, and if I'm able to even compete with Crash, and to see if they've done any more modifications to the fight. All right, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys later.